Hi everyone, welcome to Renew the Moon. My name's Tracey and I'm here with Dee.
Hi.
I'm excited today that we're going to be doing our guided meditation and having a little chat about full moon in Sagittarius. Dee's going to be doing our meditation today to guide you through this moon's energy, and then we're going to have a little chat, maybe some journaling too, release points about what full moon in Sagittarius means at this time. You may have guessed by now, if you've heard our meditations before, that when the moon enters the zodiac sign, it gives off a certain energy, and there's always something to do, especially during full and new moons. For now, I'm going to suggest some aromas and crystals for you to harness this energy today. For the aromas, we always say grab whatever you feel guided to, so there's no rules here. You don't have to go with our suggestions. But today, we have a list of the following: bergamot, calendula, clove, nutmeg, rosemary and saffron. You'll probably see there's quite a few fire warming fragrances there. You can use these as diffusers, essential oils. They're edible, have them as teas. There's loads of ways that you can incorporate the aromas in your life. And we'll
very food-based, isn't it, this
very
list?
Food-based. A lot of spices there. A lot of warming spices. But Sagittarius is the sign of fire. So that's why these aromas are linked with Sagittarius. But we talk about their meanings a little bit later on. And for the crystals, again, go with whatever you're feeling. But our suggested ones for you are carnelian, amber and cherry quartz.
Again, they're very fiery colours, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. Like your oranges, your motivation, warming stones. So grab yourself a blanket, get warm and comfy and cozy. So find yourself somewhere you won't be distracted. Maybe turn your phone on silent, somewhere that's warm, cozy and quiet. And I'll hand you over to Dee today, who's going to guide us through this full moon in Sagittarius.
Well, Tracey, I don't know about you, but I'm quite excited about this one because Sagittarius is a fellow fire sign. You know, my sun sign is Aries. Basically, it feels like a little bit of a sister sign. And I'm really excited about this guided meditation as well. I want to talk to you all a little bit first about solfeggio. Now, I know I've talked to you about this, Tracey. Have you had a chance to listen to any solfeggio?
Only the testing you've done on me, Dee.
Okay. Solfeggio is music and sounds set to different frequencies, different hertz, because it is proven that different hertz affects us mentally and physically in different ways. So, I know.
We always like it when the science meets the spiritual and there's an explanation.
Love it, exactly. So solfeggio frequencies, it refers to specific tones. And the idea about solfeggio is based on the frequencies that you find in nature. Many cultures, many countries, many different time periods, many religions and beliefs have some kind of use of sound in their practice. If you think about like choirs, gospel choirs, or if you think about chanting of Gregorian monks, or like in yoga when you say your ums and your mantras and stuff. So it's very common to use different sounds in your practice of spirituality. And there's a reason behind it, and that is because it has been proven since that different types of music impact human DNA. Can you believe that?
What, change it? Activate it?
Tracey's face just went to shock face. So in 1988, a biochemist called Dr. Glenn Rhine exposed similar DNA vials to 4 different kinds of music with different frequencies. So he exposed these 4 vials of DNA to Gregorian chants, Sanskrit chants, classical music, and rock music.
Have you watched Glitch, Dee?
No, not yet. It's on my list.
It's on Netflix. For any of you that have watched Glitch, this is ringing probably true because they use sound on that. It's all science fiction, but they're obviously taking some sort of concept from this, where they use sound to reactivate DNA cells to bring people back from the dead.
Well, I don't know if what we're going to do today is going to go quite that far, but
hope not.
So
it's full moon day. Please
who knows what's going to happen?
Too woo-woo.
So Dr. Rhine, he played these 4 different types of music, which are at different frequencies to the 4 different vials of DNA. And he measured the rate of UV light absorption because that is a key indicator of healthy DNA. And he was able to notice different impacts of the different music on the DNA, which is quite interesting when you think about what kind of music you listen to relax. So, for example, the Gregorian and the Sanskrit chants had the most positive, even healing effects by increasing the UV light absorption. So the more UV light that your DNA absorbs, the healthier it is. So the Gregorian and Sanskrit chants improved the amount of light that your DNA was able to absorb, meaning improved its health. The classical music increased the UV absorption by a small amount, so it was still positive, but not as positive. And the rock music decreased the UV light absorption, therefore harming the DNA.
Wow, fascinating. So are you going to heal our DNA today then?
Well, you joke, but I'm going to tell you what some of the different frequencies have been found to help with. If you Google solfeggio, you'll find these lists. If you search for solfeggio frequencies in Spotify, you'll find playlists set to these different frequencies. The music that's made according to solfeggio rules sounds quite a lot like spa music, so very relaxing. I love listening to it while I'm working because, you know, when you're writing or reading something, I find it very difficult to listen to music that has words if I'm reading and if I'm writing. So I quite like to listen to this solfeggio while I'm working because it's not got vocals in it, so I don't find it so distracting. And it helps with the following. So some of the most common ones, there's a whole long list of all the different frequencies and what they do, but some of the most common ones are 396 hertz is the frequency you want to listen to liberate you of fear and guilt. 417 helps with facilitating change. 432 is the miracle tone of nature. So this is the frequency of nature. And it's quite interesting because many, even ancient instruments are set to 432 hertz tuning. And the reason why they were set to 432 hertz is because that hertz is known for its deeply calming and soothing effect.
So I'd imagine in the olden days, they couldn't measure hertz. They've never heard of hertz, but they subconsciously must have tuned in to what was needed.
Like with a lot of herbal medicine practice and so forth, perhaps there wasn't a full understanding of why exactly this was helping or that was helping, but there was the knowledge that it was helping.
So science caught up.
Yeah, exactly. So there was a study done in Italy recently that showed that 432 hertz, music tuned to 432 hertz, helps slow down the heart rate.
Wow.
Which helps you feel a sense of peace and well-being. Music set at 432 hertz is the perfect accompaniment to yoga, guided meditation, sleeping, etc., because it has this effect of reducing our heart rate. Isn't that fascinating?
I mean, when you say it makes sense, but it's not something you'd automatically think about, is it? No.
And then 528 hertz, which is the one we're going to play with today, helps repair DNA. Like with what Dr. Ryan found, this frequency helps repair your DNA.
Wow.
On that note, do you want to tell everyone what I'm holding up right now? Do you
have what I describe as a fork, a pitchfork? No.
A tuning fork.
A tuning fork, that's the word I'm looking for, not a pitchfork. That's a whole different thing.
Yeah. So this tuning fork that I got, this is my new toy, and this little mallet, with this, I will be able to make the sound of 528 hertz. So that's the one that helps repair the DNA. It's also a very lovely sound. So have a listen. So I am going to be guiding you through a guided meditation, and we will be using this tuning fork. So I'm super excited about a new toy. I just wanted to explain a little bit about solfeggio. And as Tracey said, we are full moon in Sagittarius at the moment. And Sagittarius is a very exciting sign. So this full moon is going to have these characteristics. So now is the perfect time to be more Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is a sign of progress and success. So Sagittarius loves setting goals and achieving them, and then setting more goals and then achieving them. And it loves evolving by expanding beyond its self-imposed boundaries. Don't you love that? The only thing limiting yourself is you.
Yeah.
So I found this lovely guided meditation. There's a lady called Organically Jamie, and I have tailored her guided meditation for our use. And we're going to start now. So I want you to close your eyes and start taking long, deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. And really feel these breaths. Breathing in, breathing out. And breathing in and breathing out. Can you feel anywhere where there's still tension? Allow yourself to fully relax. Extending your breath as long as you can. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And start to notice different sounds. The sound of the fork. The sound of my voice. The sounds in the room. The sounds from outside. Now I want you to be silent and take a moment to listen to those sounds. Start to feel and notice where your body touches the chair or the floor. Notice any smells in the room. Notice the feeling of your breath as it travels around your body. What do you see when your eyes are shut? Do you see colors or shapes or light? Is it dark for you? Inhale through to the belly. Exhale through your nose. Focus on your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. And come into your breath. And notice whatever emotions are coming up for you. What feelings or people are popping up for you? Is there something that needs to be released at this full moon? Don't fight whatever comes up, but stay focused on your breath. Let's go back to your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. And let's focus on our breath for a moment. Breathing in. And breathing out. Make sure you're inhaling into the belly. Deep breaths. And exhale. Allow your mind to wander. Allow your mind to show you what it wants to show you while you focus on your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Now I want you to slow down the breath as much as you can without forcing it too much. Take long, deep breaths. Breathing in and breathing out. And breathing in and breathing out. And slowly bring your breath back to its natural state, where you don't manipulate it at all, you just breathe. Now I want you to start wiggling your fingers a little bit and your toes, and start to bring yourself back into your body. Now I want you to grab your journal And I want you to write whatever came up for you during that guided meditation. Just write down whatever needs to be written, whatever is asking to be released, whatever is asking to be forgiven during this full moon. And we're going to give you a moment to do that. So take your time, pause if you need to, if you need longer than a couple of minutes that we're going to give you now, and just write down whatever came up during that guided meditation for you. So full moon is always a really, really good time to focus on what we want to release, what we want to let go of, what we need to forgive for ourselves and other people. If any of that sort of emotion came up for you, make a note of it and have a look and see what you might still need to let go of. Sometimes it surprises us. We don't know that we're still holding on to some emotions or some anger, some resentment. Sometimes we know full well that we're still pissed off about something, right? So have a little think about that. And then what we would ask that you do is some kind of release ceremony. So I just suggested one to Tracey offline, but I'm going to suggest to you the easiest one, because we are thrifty practitioners, aren't we? When you're taking a shower, imagine all of your woes, all of your troubles, all of your negative emotions that you're still holding on to, all your problems. Imagine them washing away down the plug hole. Another lovely full moon release ritual is, of course, a moon bath, isn't it, Tracey? It's one of our favorites.
Yeah, it's a good time to take stock. Full moon baths are great for reflecting as well as releasing. Sometimes you don't know what you need to release until you've had a moon bath.
The reason why these things are particularly interesting to focus on during full moon in Sagittarius is because Sagittarius is so goals-driven and wants to achieve. And some of these things might be holding you back from achieving your goals. Some of these resentments, some of these negative emotions. So it's the perfect time to think, what is blocking me and how can I let it go? One of the main things that holds you back in life is your own limiting beliefs and your own insecurities and your own angers and resentments and so forth. So let's get rid of some of that now and just move forward, right?
Yeah, be more Sagittarius. When I think of Sagittarius, the one word that comes to mind is adventure. It's the adventurous sign. So in this full moon, we suggest if you have a little think and reflection on, have you been having a lot of fun and adventures? Have you been carefree enough? Or do you need to be a bit more carefree? Make sure you haven't been too limited or too limitless. So reassess where you're going, where is your direction. Start to plan towards your goals. It's an optimistic sign, and this full moon is very, very exciting in that it's in fire. It's a great time to free your emotional limits. Be Sagittarius, be free. It's exciting. Be a little bit extrovert.
Do something outside of your comfort zone.
Exactly.
Because that is liberating, isn't it? You're basically breaking down your own boundaries by doing that. And it can be a small thing, or it can be something quite adventurous like bungee jumping.
Your extrovert signs, reflect on, have you been a little bit too irresponsible? Have you been a little bit too carefree? Have you been a little bit too out there and doing too much and not back on your path of focus? It can go either way. So find that balance, reflect on which side of this coin are you. Ask yourself, have I been serious enough? Or have I been too serious? Am I doing enough planning? And am I being humble enough? The affected organs for this phase are the liver, hips, and lower back. We discussed this in more detail in one of our podcast episodes, but we suggest an area or an organ to check up during a full and new moon. It's a very historic practice of the zodiac linked to different parts of the body systems. And for Sagittarius, it's the liver, hips, and lower back. It's
just a perfect excuse to properly think about each area of your body. Is there something that you've been neglecting to seek attention for? Have you got some aches and pains that you might want to check out? If you do have any area that you need to seek attention for, then follow our full body year-long MOT, and hopefully we'll be like spring chickens by the end of it.
The aromas, Dee, my favourite bit.
Mm-hmm.
Bergamot, it's that citrusy aroma. I would say out of all the citrus oils, it's the more basey one. So it's not your sweet, fruity, McTooty fragrance, but it still has a really uplifting and brightening effect. And the spiritual meaning of bergamot goes very nice with this theme because it's about self-acceptance. So we talked about how you may be analysing yourself, and it's okay if you're more extrovert and daring and adventurous, or introvert and not so much. As long as you're happy with who you are, then have a bit of bergamot and it'll hopefully help you with that self-acceptance journey.
Full moon is all about forgiveness, and that includes forgiveness of yourself and self-acceptance, right?
Yeah, definitely. Calendula, lovely symbol of warmth. It's a bright orange flower. The flower has some really lovely symbols, but one of them is transformation, which is all about full moon, and beautiful times are ahead. So beautiful symbol there. And like we say with these aromas, you could buy them in their original floral form. I never knew that fragrance came as such a beautiful flower. Clove, another warming herb. And the next few that follow, Dee, they're all fire ones. And Sagittarius is a fire sign. So needless to say, they're good ones for a bit of oomph. Clove is a really magical herb, really warming and great for protection. Nutmeg, another one, a fire herb, and that one is good for luck. And rosemary boosts intelligence and brain power. So if you are a bit uninspired intellectually or need some ideas, have some rosemary.
It's such a lovely smell.
Yeah.
I like to mix it with a bit of lemon or lime. So I imagine mixed with maybe bergamot as well. Rosemary and bergamot would probably be delicious.
Yeah. So you've got a bit of an uplift. You'd have some intelligence. Self-acceptance, it would do a lot of things, that blend, wouldn't it? It'd be a really nice one. And then the final one on the list, the expensive one, saffron.
Do they do a saffron essential oil? I'm Googling it.
I'm guessing it would cost a fortune, given that saffron in its cooking form is expensive in itself. But again, it's the herb of fire, also great for love and for healing. Good to note that clove, nutmeg, rosemary and saffron, not only are they herbs of fire, but they're also very spiritual and magical ones as well. So for those of you that like to do your spells, manifesting, setting intentions, or maybe you're into the more spiritual side of the aroma healing, these ones will probably pop up a lot. Is there essential oil in saffron, Dee?
Yeah, there is, and it's expensive.
So onto the elements, as you guessed, it's fire, which symbolises enthusiasm, being creative, courageous, that's a good word for Sagittarius, spontaneous and self-sufficient. Like we said, it's a sign of adventure. The tarot, which is linked to the elements, is wands. Wands is strongly associated with fire. First key word there is fiery, passionate, energetic and daring. Sagittarius is such a daring sign as well. Watch out if this card pops up if you're into your tarot. Maybe you're having a reading scheduled. See if it comes up. It's quite significant during this full moon phase. The crystals. Now, when I saw this list, I thought, oh, of course, Sagittarius. Carnelian, it's like that really lovely, warming orange stone. Great for boosting confidence, ambition, drive. It also embraces courage. Amber, quite an odd stone because it's the resin. It's one of the few that's created from a tree resin. It's not really a stone, but we count it. Great for courage again because it's that kind of yellowy orange colour. Great for clearing. And also, I didn't know this, Dee, but they carried amber for protection on long journeys in ancient times, and it's still a symbol for protection on your travels. I always associate malachite with the stone of adventure and travel, but for Sagittarius, it seems that amber must be the go-to stone because it's more of that orangey colour. And cherry quartz, it symbolises hope, optimism, and go-getting. Go-getting is a great saying for Sagittarius, isn't it?
Exactly.
Your affirmation for this full moon is, I have vision and I am creative enough to materialise it. I have vision and I am creative enough to materialise it. Say it, print it, have it on your phone, have it on your fridge, have it as your screensaver. These affirmations are also downloadable on your We Knew the Moon login content. We make them in a lovely card for you so you can print it off or save it. Seeing is believing, isn't it, Dee? Seeing, saying, power of thought. It's all very
Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it. Have that on your fridge as well.
It sounds glib, but it's really possible to do that with your self-confidence. You know, sometimes showing that you're nervous makes you feel more nervous. Most of us feel like we're blagging our way through life, right? And we're doing okay, so it must be working.
It's true, actually. If you think about where you imagine yourself as a young person, looking up at adults who seem to have it together. And now I am the adult and I don't feel how I thought it was supposed to.
Right? We were supposed to have all the answers by now.
And finally, the number 3 is the symbolic number for this full moon in Sagittarius. In numerology, we always say, look out. If you're into your numbers, this might pop up in your tarot as a door number. When you're looking at the time, have a look for the number 3. It symbolises imagination, creativity, dreams, being adaptable.
We've got an episode on numerology, don't we, on our podcast? So do check that out on Spotify or iTunes, whatever you listen to your podcast. You should be able to find us, or on our website as well.
We've actually done a podcast on most of the parts to these sheets. So there's one on crystals, there's one on tarot, there's one on aromas or essential oils. Well, that's everything for this full moon in Sagittarius. Have a good one, everyone.
We will see you at the next new moon. Have a good one, and we'll see you soon. Happy full moon.
Bye.
If you enjoyed that and you want more from us, why don't you head over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/We Knew the Moon, and check out some bonus content.
Also, if you want to stay up to date, you can follow us on our Facebook page at we.knew.the.moon. If you could leave us a review on our Facebook page, that would mean a lot.
Our Instagram handle is the same as our Facebook, at we.knew.the.moon. We are on Twitter at WeKnewTheMoon1, and we are also on Pinterest. Just search for We Knew the Moon.
Finally, if you want lots more fun, moon info, and all things spiritual, plus our lovely shop, please visit our website, weknewthemoon.co.uk.